Welcome to this tutorial, guys, which is the new episode of the HTML series. Alright, so now in this tutorial I'm going to speak about divs, forms, lists, tables and buttons. So in the last tutorial, just to wrap it up fast, we covered the doc type, HTML, which is the root element, which contains the head. The head contains, the title is contained in the head, which is the page title here. The body, heading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, from bigger to smaller font size. We have the paragraph, we have the hyperlink, which can take you to another website. We have the line break and we have the image. And this is an attribute which sets the height to 250 pixels. Alright, so let's go to the next line here and type the div. By the way, I'm using Sublime Text for this video. I'm not using Notepad like the previous video. So go ahead and download Sublime or your favorite text editor, VS Code or Atom, or yeah, there are plenty of them. I'm using this one, which is very simple and straightforward. Alright, so we have a div. Div is a division element. It's a container. We divide our code into divs. Our elements are usually wrapped inside divs. So div is like a parent container of other elements. So we're gonna nest these elements into our div here. And I'm gonna tab. We want the correct indentation. Always nest them inside, like that. Yeah, so now we added them here, and let's see the difference. No difference, but these are inside this div. So if I were to go here and add I can show you how to open this. Right click, inspect. We can see that all this div here, this div contains all these elements. So this is pretty cool because, for example, now we can add some CSS, which I'm not gonna go very deep into this tutorial because it's not about CSS, it's plain HTML. I'm just gonna show you why we use divs. So we can add, for example, a background color here, red, and this will make this whole div red, the background of it, you see. So in this case, I'm going to make it light gray, light slate gray, and I'm going to add a color to make the color of the text white, and I'm going to add a padding. You don't need to know these things now. I'm just gonna show you that I can play around with this one. All right, this is enough for now. There we go. So now you don't need to know these things for now, but you see how I changed the whole div and the elements inside, and how I styled them, and how I gave them character. This is nice, right? And this is how you do it. Then if you were to add new stuff, then you add new divs. So in the next div, I'm going to add we could add a table. We have a table. A table contains a table head and a table body. Right? Table row, and then we have table heading. So let's add, for example, say that it's a product. So copy this, paste. I don't know why my editor is. Yes. Oh no, it's one more. Yeah, the indentation here is a bit terrible, but we're gonna fix it. So ID, write title, description, add the price, another created or date. So now going to the body and add the same table tr table row, and add a, but in this time we're gonna add a table data. So table heading, table data. Now let me explain how this works. Save and see what it happens here. So we have an ID, title, description, price, rate, date. ID, title, description, price, date. So in this table here, all this thing is a table. Now right click, inspect. In this table, you see, we have a table head, the heading. We don't even need this one. It's more semantic. So we have a table, remember table heading, and we have a table row. Okay, think about the table row as a line, as a row, you know, like this row is going to contain these 5 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the same goes here, t-body, table row, so it's gonna be the next row here underneath. And there we're going to add one, we're going to add socks, red socks, yes, price $29, created 2022, not 4, yes. So if we refresh now, these are going to go underneath. So under the ID, we have the one, under the title, we have the socks. Now if I remove this, it's just going to be empty here. See? Yes. So that's pretty much it with the tables. You can do a lot of stuff with the tables, but this is a good start. So feel free to play along with this. And remember, table row, the elements inside the table row. Table headings, table data, th, td, this one's. So that's enough for the tables. Let's create a new div that will contain the lists, a list. So let's say we have a list, fruits. This list contains fruits. These are the list elements. So Control C, Control V. Oh, this is a bit strange. Yeah, anyway. You can also use control and the left or the right arrow, and it's gonna go to the next part here. See, to the end of the element. Control and the left or the right arrow. All right, so we have bananas, apples, oranges. So this unordered list contains these list elements. Fruits, bananas, apples, oranges. Now I can also make this fruits. I can give it an H5 to make the text a bit bigger. Or sorry, it's not bigger. It's let's make it H3. So yes, this is a list, and we can add many more elements. Let's see, pears, mangoes, and I'm out of fruits, TVs. Yeah, and we can also make this an ordered list. It's gonna have numbers. Another thing we can do is later on when we do CSS again, is to play with the styles. And for example, we can remove this. See. What else? I think this is enough for the lists. Let's go ahead and create lists, tables. Yes. What else do we have? We said the button, but yeah, the form. We have to make the form also. All right. So let's create a form in another div. Form. So a form. We all submitted forms before, right? We all seen how a form looks like. It has a label, which is gonna be the first name. It has an input, type text. I can give it an ID, first name. These are, this is a self-closing tag. And yes, first name, let's add the last name. And let's add the gender. So gender. I should go from the first to the second to the third, but I'm going the wrong way again. Anyway, first name, last name, gender. Make sure you change it here. One cool thing you can do here is the label. Let me show you how it looks first. If we scroll down, we see how it looks, right? Now they all go to the same line, so we can add BRs like we learned in the previous tutorial. BR. So, and it's gonna look like this. The cool thing we can do here is when we press on the first name, it will go directly, start typing here, and we can do this by adding a for attribute for, and we're gonna add the ID of the input we want it to go to. So in this case, the first name. So now if I refresh, click on first name, it's gonna take me here, and we can do the same for the next. Last name, label for gender. So this is pretty good. I just want to add that the IDs here in the inputs, you see these IDs, they're attributes to identify a specific element, which we can later manipulate with CSS and JavaScript. We have a form, we click there. Now on the gender, of course, I don't want text, right? So what I want here is I want a select. And in the select, I want an option, or two options. Let's see here. Male, female. So we have male or female. So in the gender we choose female, male or female, yes. Select the gender. So when I click, it goes here too. Awesome. So we have a first name, last name, we can also write here, female, and then we have we need the most important, which is the button, so we can submit the form. So button, we can add a submit. Let me add BRs here too. Submit. So if I click on it, it will submit the form, but we have to do something. But this is for the next level to submit a form here. So we basically are add the action method, which is not for this tutorial. I just want to show you how it works. We add a type of submit, and now we click and it's going to submit, but now it goes here. So this is going to send these values we typed here to the server. But this is the next lesson, so don't worry about that. I just want to show you a bit how, to give you a taste of how it's gonna be in the future. So yeah, we covered the lists, the tables, the forms, the button, the divs. You see, you can style them. I think these are enough for now. Maybe I can show you also horizontal line also. So before the fruits, before this div, the parent div of the fruits, which is this one, we want to add the horizontal line. So similar to line break, but it's called HR. And then we refresh, and we have not, okay, something's wrong here. The line, it's because we have this hashtag here. So and this is because we went, this action takes us to this page, to this URL. So we move this so it doesn't confuse you for now, and the post also, just have it as a form. And we have this horizontal line. Pretty cool, right? And we can add as many as we want. Now we can also add the here. So some the other elements such as italic. So we can make the text italic. So in this case, bananas. We can make this text bold. Sorry, strong. Yeah, sorry. And this is happening here because I didn't close this tag. Strong, which makes it bold. We can do so many things, but I think these are the most common used ones. So I think I just want to add one more, which is very important, which is the commenting. Say for example, we want to comment these out. We might want to add them in later or something. So if I do this, you see they disappear. So remember, left arrow, exclamation mark, hyphen, content, hyphen, right arrow. And that's it. You can find this in HTML documentation or W3 Schools or something. Yes, so that's it for today, and I hope you liked the tutorial. I hope I didn't forget something. Feel free to ask me any questions you have, and I will be happy to answer. Take care and have a nice day. Thank you very much. Please hit the like and subscribe if that helped you. Thanks.